After the recent really great revival of the Cheltenham brewery DEYA, I thought I'd try another one. But this one is a collaboration, this time with Queer Brewing. But what's it going to be like? Keep watching to find out. Welcome back to Rocker's Beer Review. Today we're going back to DEYA and another collaboration for DEYA. This time is with Queer Brewing, and this is called Consequences, and it is an IPA. It's coming in at, check the numbers, 6.3%, and this is a beer that's brewed with Nectaron, another fairly new hop from New Zealand, and also Citra as well. So I'm quite excited about this. So let's crack it open and get it in a glass and get drinking it. As I said in the intro, a bit of a revival, I think, for DEYA. The last beer that we had, Wi-Fi Beef, which was a collaboration with Siren, was very good. And I've had a few, the last few beers have been good. And it seems that they're on a bit of a comeback. So I thought, well, any brewery that does a great beer, you've got to try the next beer to make sure that wasn't a one-off and it's a bit more consistent. Anyway, this beer, I decided to use the sort of Tetu glass this time. I don't use it that much, but I thought I'd give it a go with this one. And beer in a glass, well, we've got an orangey yellow. I wouldn't say it was, it obviously is hazy, but it's not as thick and opaque as a lot of IPAs. It's literally got, I wouldn't even call that a half a finger. It's just a tiny little bit of head there. Again, sometimes depends on the glass. So a glass like this, the head usually dissipates quite quickly anyway. Fair bit of carbonation sticking to the glass. It's a lovely orange colour. Let's see what the aroma's like. Yeah, it smells like sort of almost like sweet candied fruit. Getting quite a lot of pineapple from this. Citrus. There's a bit of a sort of tropical twang to it as well. Yeah, it smells pretty good. See what it tastes like. Cheers, everyone. Lots of flavour. Very, very pineapple-y. Lots of pineapple is a big flavour with this beer, which is great. I love pineapple as a flavour. I wouldn't necessarily usually think Nectaron would create that, but I haven't had it much, but when I've had it, it's more like it has more of the New Zealand characteristics as it is a New Zealand hop with a bit of tropical in there. But this is all about pineapple. It's almost like it tastes like it was brewed something like Brew 1. So flavour-wise, it's pleasant. It's all pineapple though. I'm waiting for some other flavours to come in, but it's really hitting just pineapple. Body-wise, it is not a signature DEYA body on this beer. The last one was incredible because the body was back. That creamy DEYA mouthfeel is disappeared here. So they've obviously brewed it slightly differently in terms of the wheat and the oats they've put into it because it's lighter, much lighter. Carbonation is soft, but the beer doesn't have that sort of velvety DEYA-esque touch to it like they normally do, which is a disappointment really, because that's always the signature really with any DEYA beer. A little bit disappointed with that. It's a good beer. It's not a great one. To say it's a very sort of, it's only sort of one flavour, and you get a big hit of it, you go, pineapple. Right, now where we go. And it doesn't really go anywhere. It just sticks with the pineapple. There's no sharpness on the back end. There's no sort of dryness or bitterness or anything like that. It's just one note, really. And that is always disappointing. I like a little bit more complexity with my beer. The flavour doesn't really hang around too long either because it's quite a light and thin sort of beer for an IPA. Disappointing. I thought DEYA would really made a comeback, but this is a disappointing beer, especially for DEYA standards. It's still a good beer, and it's still very drinkable, and and it's quite a smashable because it's quite light. It's quite smashable. but something missing from it. The mouthfeel not quite so creamy, and I just think it tastes a little bit like it's not as much hop scored into it. It doesn't taste as it doesn't taste like an IPA. It almost drinks more like a pale ale. The flavour is there. There's a lot of pineapple flavour, and it's quite a strong flavour, but it doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't develop. So, Consequences IPA from DEYA and Queer Brewing, a good but not great beer. I mean, I think it's just because obviously I love DEYA, and I think DEYA makes some absolutely cracking beer. They've got that signature mouthfeel with DEYA. If you don't get it, you're going to end up disappointed, and this hasn't really got it. But it's an all right sort of beer. It's a good beer. It's not great. It's good. So let's get some scores. Okay, the scores are in for Consequences. This is an IPA, 6.3% from DEYA. It's got nectar and citra in it. It's in collaboration with Queer Brewing. I think they're in Manchester, Queer Brewing. And it's in a big pint can. Never mentioned that. But, you know, DEYA make... No, it's not in a pint can. Ignore that. It's in a 500ml can. Bigger than normal, but not quite a pint, which is 568ml. I think that is a UK pint. You get confused in terms of American pints, which are 480 something mil. That was 470, 480, more than a 440, less than a 500, and nowhere near like a UK pint. So there's all these different things, but it's good, 500ml. But then you pay a little bit more. It's £5.5. This was a little bit more expensive, and yeah, value for money, not as great because it's just one flavour, I think. Right, let's go for the scores. I'm whittling on, starting with aroma. Appearance. Flavour. Value for money. My overall experience. Totting the scores up. Yes, it's recommended, but for DEYA, you expect more, closer to that highly recommended, if not in the highly recommended, and smashing through it. But it's not that on this beer. It's a good beer, but not a great beer. A little bit disappointed. It will probably make me think a couple of times before I next pick up a DEYA beer, which is always a little disappointing. But let me know if you've had it. Consequences IPA with Queer Brewing. I've had the odd one by Queer Brewing, but not much from them. You don't see much of their beers about. Yeah, this is one of those collaborations that's probably less DEYA-esque than you would expect. But, you know, as I say, it's a good beer, but not a great DEYA beer. Let me know in the comments if you've had it. Let me know what you think about DEYA. I mean, obviously, you might have seen the other reviews that I was gushing about it. It was a good score, very good score for that last DEYA beer. But this one has dipped. Consistency is always the key with a good brewery. And DEYA have not quite got it. I don't know why that is. Maybe they're just still experimenting, doing different things. But let me know in the comments what you think of DEYA. Let me know if you've had any beers from them recently. And hope you've enjoyed this video. Until the next one, please like it. Please subscribe if you're not a subscriber. And drink good craft beer. And keep on rocking.